Today I'm going to show you how to make this really great 1x1 chain necklace to go along with your 1x1 beaded bracelet. When we made the bracelet, the beads were on every other side, and so when we make this necklace, we're actually going to be putting the beads all on one side because we want to have gravity work with us and have that nice drape when we're wearing it. And then the other thing taking the next step with this project is I'm going to show you how to be more efficient in building that 1x1 chain. This is a really great project to get the repetition that you need to really kind of hone your skills opening and closing the jump rings. And the method that I'm going to show you is going to help you to not only practice opening and closing jump rings, but we're going to help you to be more efficient so you can speed up the process. So as with all of our free tutorials, there is a set of instructions that you can download for free. The button is just under the video if you're on the website. If not, there's a link on YouTube, or in any case, you can go to the jewelryclasseswithjen.com and you'll find the information there. So with this project, we're going to get started. And so what we're doing here, because you already know how to open and close jump rings, I'm not going to review that part. But for this project, you want to have some jump rings that are open. For the necklace specifically, you want to have 35 open jump rings. You're going to have 29 closed jump rings. And then we want to have a closed jump ring attached to each one of the beads. And so I just want to point out to you too, I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. These unicorn beads, there's what I consider to be like a front side, and then where the glass meets together for the seam. I figure that's the back. It doesn't really matter. And when we made the bracelet, the beads just jumble. And so depending on the color of the beads, sometimes this is more predominant than other times. But also too, if you choose to do this project where you're using your own beads, I wanted you to know what's going on as far as the front or the back. So as I have these pieces laying here on my mat, I have all of these beads arranged so that the front of the bead is leaning to the right. Sorry about that. So the front of the bead is leaning towards the right so that I can, when I scoop the ring that's attached to the bead, I can scoop from front to back. Okay, so I'm going to get started working with our first ring here. And so to get started with this project, we're going to grasp one of the open rings. Notice that I'm grasping that jump ring so that I'm going to be ready to then work with it. And then I'm going to scoop through one of those glass beads, or the ring that's attached to the glass bead anyway. And so therefore we've got the front of the bead is on the right, because when I scooped, I went from the front to the back. And so see, when that ring goes on there from front to back, the right side of the bead is the front, left side is the back. And I'll just work on that focus a touch here for you. And I'm going to go ahead and close that ring. Get that real nice snap. Remember, we're checking the downward view and we're checking the profile view. Okay, so now for this project, the next step, I want to hold the bead so that we're looking at the front of the bead, holding the jump ring. The ring that we've attached is draped down to the left. Then I'm going to grasp onto that ring to hold it. So what I'm building, this ring for now, it's going to be like our handle or help us to remember which side is what. And so that ring is just hanging out there on the left, but it is to the left of the bead. That's important. Now I'm going to grab another open ring, and I'm going to scoop through the ring that is attached to the bead, again front to back, and I'm holding that here open. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to take that same ring and I'm going to go through the ring that I'm holding, or that I'm supporting with the first bead in it. And now I'm going to let that first one drape down so that I can close the ring that I just added. And so then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I have the front. I'm holding with the assembly draped down to the left side, supporting that next ring, grasping another open ring, scooping the ring that the bead is attached to, again from front to back. So I'm holding that here, attaching to that ring that I'm supporting that has the last bead on it. Go ahead, close up that jump ring. And so I'm just going to show you what I have so far. I'm going to support that ring that has the bead on it, and then I'm going to support my handle bead or ring down here. And you can see that I've got some 1x1 chain with the beads are all dangling, and the front of each bead is in the front of the project. So I'm going to go ahead, we're just going to add on the last two here. So you'll notice too, once you have some chain to hold on to, you might choose to just support that ring with your fingers. And so I'm isolating it. I've got the assembly in my left hand, holding it to the left. I've got the front of the bead is there. I'm going to grasp an open jump ring. I'm going to scoop through front to back, come in and joining that ring, close that jump ring. There we go. So notice I can kind of hold the assembly with that chain nose plier in my left hand. And I can grasp my last ring, or well, an open ring, grasp the last of the beads. I'm going to go ahead and attach that on there. Adjust my grasp so I've got a good grip. Go ahead and close that ring. Okay, so you can see now I've got a 1x1 chain. I've got 5 beads. I got my handle is on the left. That's that extra ring that's hanging. And so I can set that assembly down just for a moment so you can see. So now we're going to start with a technique that where we can add the 1x1 chain, and we want to add it with efficiency. So I'm holding this ring. Again, I'm isolating just that last ring. This time I'm going to grasp an open ring, and I'm going to, instead of grasping one with a bead, I'm just grasping a closed ring. Okay? So same thing as before, I'm joining that closed ring to the ring, the last ring that had the bead on it. This is not the one that has the handle. That little handle, that extra ring is down at the other end here. That's how I know I'm looking at the front. And so we're going to build up this side of the necklace first. But close up that ring. Okay, so here's the trick. This time, I do not want to let go of that ring with my left plier. I'm going to leave that last, this is the closed ring that I had scooped. This is the ring that I had opened. And so I'm leaving that draping onto the right. I'm grasping another open jump ring. I'm going to scoop another closed ring, and I'm going to attach that closed ring to that jump ring that was draped on the side. Did you see that? I'm going to just do it again. So I've got my open ring, I scooped a closed ring, and now I'm going to connect to that jump ring that's draping down to the side there. So now once I've made that connection, I can release my left hand and use that along with my right hand to close the ring that I just grasped. All right, so let's try that again. I got open jump ring, grasping an open jump ring. I'm going to scoop a closed ring, and then I'm attaching it to that jump ring that's straight down to the side. There we go. Go ahead and close that. Check everything out. Don't let go. That's the trick here. I didn't let go. Grab another open ring. Grab a closed string, attach to that last closed ring that's just draping down. Release my left hand. Close that ring. Don't let go with my left hand, only let go with my right hand. Grasp another open ring. Go ahead, scoop another closed string, and I'm attaching it not to the one that I'm holding, but I'm attaching it to that one that's draped down. And so you're going to follow this process until you have 30 rings beyond the bead. And so right now I've just done it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. So I need to do it 10 more times. And so I'm not going to make you watch that on video, but I'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll get back with you. Okay, so now I have my original handle is right here, and I have added 30 rings onto the right side. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the assembly over so that I'm back to adding on this right side, so that the process will be the same. And so we have a ring that's there, and so I'm just going to use the same method. I'm grasping an open ring. I'm going to scoop a closed ring, and then I'm going to just use that to connect to the last ring that was on the chain. Go ahead and close that ring, and then here is where I would leave that so that it stays in my left hand, the plier, and I'm going to keep going and connect to this ring that's draping down on the side, and I'm going to add all of the rest of the closed rings until all I have left is one open ring. Alrighty, and so on this side here, so far I have 29 rings beyond the bead. Ultimately we want to have 30 on each side, and but this is the side that I'm going to add the clasp to the end with this last open ring. And so if you're confused about which end gets the clasp, these beads right now are face down. So when I go to put this necklace on, the clasp will be in my right hand. I'm right-handed, so therefore I want to have that so that the mechanism is in my right hand where I have all the control. And so you can see I'm just going from that last ring there and through the little loop on the lobster clasp, and then we'll close up that ring. There we go. Awesome. So now I would be all set to go ahead and put this on my neck. And so I see I've got the clasping mechanism in my right hand, and I'm going to clasp onto the loop on the left. And so if I was looking at the front of this necklace, the clasp is actually going to be on the left, because this is what happens when somebody is looking at me. You have to think about the mirror image when you're looking at something from the front, and then but when you go to put something on, you lay it face down, and then that way you're grasping from the right. And so then you would go ahead and just clasp that on. Awesome. So now you have not only practiced opening and closing jump rings, you really gained some efficiency in how you can open and close them really well. Don't forget that the instructions are available for you so that you can follow along step by step with the instructions in order to be able to kind of go through everything. And if this recipe is for a 16-inch necklace, and so if you wanted to add length to it, maybe you want an 18-inch necklace or a 20-inch necklace, you can just add 10 rings. 10 of these 7/32 inner diameter 16 gauge rings will add 2 inches to the chain. So we do have those for sale in packs of 10 on the website. So if you wanted to make an 18-inch necklace, then you can just get an additional package of jump rings. And so, well, enjoy your necklace. And you know, next time around, we'll work on some earrings so you got some cool earrings to wear with your bracelet and your necklace. Take care. Thanks so much for watching our presentation. If you would like to continue learning how to make jewelry with Jennifer Hanscom, please subscribe to our channel. Our goal is to provide comprehensive project-based jewelry instruction with a focus on using hand tools and small equipment so you can enjoy making jewelry right from your home. If you would like more information, visit our website at www.jewelryclasseswithjen.com.